Sometimes the most dangerous things a man says aren't loud or cruel. They're quiet, subtle, and easy to miss. They might even sound harmless at first, but over time, they chip away at your self-worth, your peace of mind, and your sense of reality. This isn't about judging men or relationships. It's about protecting your energy and honoring your inner wisdom. Carl Jung, one of the deepest thinkers in psychology, believed that much of our pain comes from what we don't understand about ourselves and others. When someone refuses to face their inner struggles, they unconsciously act them out in relationships, and often the people closest to them get hurt. So today, let's talk about 5 things a man might say that should immediately raise a red flag, and the deeper meaning behind them. These aren't just words. They're signs of someone who hasn't done their emotional work and might expect you to carry the burden for them. Let's begin. 1. You're too sensitive. When a man tells you you're too sensitive, he's not just commenting on your emotions. He's quietly dismissing your entire emotional experience. What he's really saying is, I don't want to deal with how you feel. Instead of leaning in to understand, he distances himself. Instead of asking, why do you feel that way? He makes you feel like the problem. But let's be clear, sensitivity is not a weakness. It's a gift. It means you feel deeply, you care sincerely, and you notice things that others often overlook. That's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to protect. Carl Jung had a powerful insight about this. He called it projection, when a person avoids their own inner discomfort by putting it onto someone else. If he struggles with emotional intimacy or vulnerability, your sensitivity becomes a mirror he can't face, so he rejects it. But here's the truth. You are not too much. You're just too emotionally honest for someone who's emotionally unavailable. A healthy man will never shame you for how you feel. He'll be curious, he'll ask, he'll care. So the next time someone says you're too sensitive, take a moment and ask yourself, is this person making me feel safe or small? Because love doesn't silence your emotions, it listens to them. 2. My ex was crazy. When a man says my ex was crazy, it might sound like he's just telling you a story from his past, but often it's not a story, it's a warning. Because what he's really saying is, I take no responsibility for how that relationship ended. Now let's be fair. Sometimes people do go through toxic relationships, but here's the thing. A man who is truly healed won't lead with blame. He'll lead with reflection. He'll say, it was tough. We both made mistakes. I've learned from it. But if all he does is call his ex names, she was crazy, she was psycho, she ruined everything. That's not maturity, that's projection. Carl Jung taught that we all carry a shadow, the parts of ourselves we don't want to admit. And when someone hasn't faced their shadow, they push all the blame onto others. That ex he calls crazy, she might just be the one who held up a mirror he couldn't stand to look into. Be careful. Today it's his ex. Tomorrow it could be you. A healthy man owns his side of the story. He's not stuck in the past. He's grown from it. So, the next time a man trashes every woman before you, ask yourself, is this someone who learns from love or someone who just escapes it? Because how he talks about his past tells you everything about your possible future. 3. I guess I'm just a bad guy. At first, this might sound like honesty, like he's opening up about his flaws. But look closer. When a man says, I guess I'm just a bad guy, he's not taking responsibility. He's avoiding it. It's a subtle form of emotional manipulation. He knows he's crossed a line, but instead of apologizing or making it right, he throws his hands up and plays the victim. It's like saying, this is just who I am, so don't expect anything better. Carl Jung had a word for this kind of behavior. It's called the persona, the mask we wear to the world. And sometimes men wear the bad guy mask to avoid the hard work of real growth. They know the words, they know how to sound broken, but not how to rebuild. True self-awareness doesn't stop at I'm damaged. It continues with, but I'm working on it. Don't be fooled by the performance of pain, especially when there's no change behind it. Because if a man really feels remorse, you won't hear it in self-pity. You'll see it in changed behavior. So, the next time someone shrugs and says, "I'm just not a good guy," ask yourself, is this honesty, or is it an excuse to stay emotionally unavailable? Because love isn't about saving someone from themselves. It's about growing together, with courage, not guilt. 4. If you really loved me, you would... This is emotional manipulation at its finest. He's not asking for your love in a healthy way. He's demanding it, with strings attached. It's a way to make you feel responsible for his happiness. And that, my friend, is never love. It's a power move. Carl Jung warned us that love can quickly become toxic when one person tries to possess the other. When love turns into a test, when someone tries to make you prove your affection through actions that only they want, it's no longer a relationship. It's a transaction. Healthy love isn't about changing who you are to please someone else. It's about mutual respect and honoring each other's needs, without pressure or guilt. You're not obligated to sacrifice who you are just to show you care. True love gives room for both people to be their full selves. So, the next time someone says, "If you really loved me, you would..." Pause and ask yourself, is this love, or is this a demand I never signed up for? Because love isn't about tests and ultimatums. It's about trust and freedom. And the only way to truly love someone is to allow them to be who they are, without trying to mold them into your version of perfect. 5. You'll never find someone like me. It might sound like a confident statement, but in reality it's rooted in fear, not confidence. What he's really saying is, I'm afraid of losing you, and I need you to believe I'm irreplaceable. It's a subtle form of manipulation, designed to keep you from considering your own worth outside of him. Carl Jung taught us that when someone becomes too attached to their ego, they start using it to control others. The ego wants to be seen as special, unique, and unmatchable, because deep down it's terrified of being overlooked, forgotten, or replaced. So, it makes bold claims like this one. But here's the thing. You don't need someone like him. You need someone who recognizes that your worth is not tied to their approval. You need a partner who doesn't try to keep you small with words like this, but one who sees you as an equal, who celebrates your individuality. True confidence doesn't need to make someone else feel small to feel big. It simply exists, quietly and powerfully. So, the next time someone says, "You'll never find someone like me," ask yourself, why do I need someone who fears me walking away? Why settle for someone who can't let me be my own person? Because love should never come from a place of control. It should come from a place of freedom, trust, and mutual respect. If you hear these red flags, remember, you deserve love that uplifts you and helps you grow, not one that controls you or makes you feel small. Protect your energy, trust your instincts, and always honor your worth. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Stay true to yourself and never settle for less than you deserve. I'll see you in the next one.